Learning from Lauren, where I am helping travel agents, not people going on travel. So for Learning from Lauren, I put this channel together for travel advisors because I think it's so important that you have some place where you can learn, or if you're thinking of becoming a travel agent, you really want somewhere where you can go. And I came up with this channel after watching how agency owners ran their channel. And I think one of the things is that when you're an agency owner, you think about things very differently. Sometimes you forget how you start. And there's one thing that I will always say is I don't forget where I began. When I was a teacher and I started off teaching, I will never forget that. When I was, actively looking for like a partner in life, I do not forget what it's like to be the single person out there. And I also remember what it's like when, all your friends are having kids and you're not, what that feels like. So I remember those beginnings very vividly, and I hold on to them very strongly because I think it's so important to remember where you started from and how hard it is. And I got this idea that, other travel agents, when you start, it's really hard. And I remember starting out as a travel agent, and I was so scared to do it in the beginning because I thought it had to be done a certain way because I had only heard about very specific people and what they had done as a travel agent. And I thought, oh, well, I only want to work for this one company. So, I only care about that. And then as time went on, I was like, no, I really, really want to do this. And when I started investigating it a little more, I was like, oh, there are other ways to do this. And listening to travel agency owners was like the worst thing I could have done because all I kept thinking about was like, I could have started this like 5 years ago and I didn't because I was afraid because they said you had to do everything like X, Y, and Z. And I couldn't do it that way. So the channel is here to help you and understand that even whatever I say, it doesn't matter. It's just, this is from an outsider's perspective and a teacher seeing how travel agencies run. They all pretty much run the same way. I mean, there's like different types, but they all pretty much run the same way. And it's really hard as a travel agent sometimes to start or to pick up on those things because you're working with people who have this experience and they have experience that they can't explain to you always because they've been doing it for so long, so they don't even know that they're doing it. So then it's harder for you because you're like, okay, but how did you know to do that? Or how did you know to say that? Or how did you do that? Or how do you save all this time when you have 50,000 emails coming in every day? And those are the things that this channel is here to help you with, because you should not be discouraged at any point. It can be very lonely, even if you work with an agency or a host and other people. It can get very lonely when some people are doing better than you, or you think they're doing better than you. And you just, there are good months and bad months, good days and bad days, and all those things can really get to you. And I didn't mean to start this whole long tirade, but I just want you to understand that being a travel agent is like riding a wave. Sometimes you're on top, sometimes you're getting crushed, and sometimes you're just starting out. So you just have to know you can do it. Every day isn't going to be perfect. Every client isn't going to be perfect, but you can do it. And one of the things I like to do is be as honest as possible about what it's really like, because a lot of the YouTube videos out there are not like that. And you need to have a real understanding if this is something that you want to do. And one of the hard parts, which is really the essence of this show, is the hard part about being a travel agent is everyone thinks that being a travel agent is super, super easy. And they all want to go in those Facebook groups and tell you how wrong you are and how right they are because their third cousin told them that when they went there, that what you're saying is not true. And Facebook groups, I don't know what else to say. Everyone always says like, oh, Lauren, you have to network through these Facebook groups. Oh, you have to get on them. I can't do it. I can't. No, I won't do it. I'm in some and I've blocked it so I can't see anything. I'm in ones that I voluntarily joined and I still block them every so often because I just can't get over it. There are a lot of people out there, even other travel agents who are not well trained, who don't even understand what they're supposed to be doing and how they're supposed to be helping clients. And they're going in these Facebook groups trying to get clients and they don't know the right answers. And it's just, anyone can say whatever they want in these Facebook groups. So my biggest thing is just be very cautious when you're in these Facebook groups and don't expect that you are going to be able to get tons and tons of clients. People will say all the time, oh, in this Facebook group, I got tons and tons of clients. And then I find out you got like 3 leads from it and 1 might book with you. So I would just be cautious when you're going into Facebook groups and your goal is to try and get potential clients. Now, you can make your own Facebook group and have people join it so that, you can control the conversation, but that's like another full-time job too. Like when you have a Facebook group, there's a lot of work that goes into it and posting it and seeing what people are posting and making sure it's accurate and things like that. So make sure that if you're doing that, you actually have the time to manage that. Now, on the flip side of that is your clients also could be in these Facebook groups getting misinformation, and they're going to contact you and say, oh, well, I heard in this group that, I can now cruise for free. Like, you look at the most ridiculous statements and questions from people and they'll say, oh, I heard it in a group. And I have a client that says that all the time to me. She's like, oh, well, I was in a Facebook group and they said you could do it. And I was like, yes, I did say you could do it, but we still have to follow like the timeline of events. We can't just, cancel and get all your money back today. So it's things like these that you have to be careful about. And when you're responding to your client about it, you want to be tactful because you don't want to call your client stupid, first of all. And it's very easy. You can go to whatever the vendor website is. Like you would go to Royal Caribbean's website and you could say, or you can ask your client, great, can you send me a screenshot of where it says on Royal Caribbean's website that, you can cruise for free? And typically what they come back with is, oh, I can't find it. And you could say, I can't find it either. I could see the kids sail free that are under 10, but all your kids are 14, 19, and 20. So I can't qualify them for this offer. And say, if you do find it, please let me know. So don't feel like you want to be respectful to the client, but you also need to preserve yourself, that you don't have to go and do any work. You can always ask for a screenshot, or you can actually say like, oh, can you just show me where you found this? Because we need the vendor to actually put that information out there. A lot of it will be happening about COVID testing too, so just make sure that you're getting your information from the actual vendor. Even if you have to call, it might waste your time, but if you have to call, you have to call just to show them that no, this is not true. And that's fine. Before I became a travel agent, I used a travel agent, and I was able to show her that I could get this discount for the room that we were in. It was saving us like $200 a night. And she said she couldn't find it. And I sent her a screenshot of it, and she actually called Disney at the time, and she got us the discount because of my screenshot. So don't discount that what people can find doesn't work. all the time. A lot of times it means that they didn't include some, if it's a price thing, it's typically they didn't include something. A lot of times on the travel agent side, you will get everything that includes is taxes and, port fees when you get a final number. But when you're doing it on the consumer side, or like if a random person is just going on Royal Caribbean, that might not be included in their price. So they might not be seeing the same thing. So you have to make sure if they're talking about a price thing that they can compare what you're seeing also. All right, that was probably so much information in one video. I did not mean to make it all that. But if you have questions about what it's like to be a travel agent or things like that, please put notes in the comments so I can answer them, and it will also help me so I can get future videos out to you. All right, that will do it for today's show. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time on Learning